The world was surprised when reality TV stars Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, who feature in 19 Kids and Counting, announced their formal divorce. As a symbol of conventional American family life, the Duggars have long been admired for their huge family dynamic, unwavering Christian principles, and living their faith. Not only has the news shocked their followers, but it has also caused many to wonder what the Duggars' legacy will be like and how their divorce would affect their children and the Christian community at large. For a long time, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar were Christian idols. They exemplified traditional family values and showed the world how a Christian family should live. A huge family wasn't the only thing that shaped their narrative. It was their unwavering dedication to God, love for one another, and the importance of instilling strong moral principles in their children. Because of their unconventional ways of living, the family became a national icon of Christian conservatism. The Duggar family became well known among Christians due to the widespread appeal of the concept of a big, close-knit community raising children in accordance with religious beliefs. How the public views the Duggars. A Christian family role model. The public's perception of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar is based on their adherence to traditional family values, their religion, and their work ethic. They were often shown as the model of a perfect family, where children were brought up in an environment of love, discipline, and religious teaching. An example of this portrayal was their program, 19 Kids and Counting. People looked forward to the Duggars because they were an example of how their Christian principles had paid off, rather than because they were simply another reality TV family. Faith was the driving force behind the Duggars' lives. The Independent Baptist Church, of which they were members, has a traditionally conservative view on moral and family matters. They lived their lives according to the principle that having many children was a blessing and that God had given them all as gifts. On their program, Jim Bob and Michelle preached to the audience the significance of educating children to follow God's commands and to obey, work hard, and be humble, openly promoting this ideology. Many people looked up to the Duggars and their unwavering dedication to conservative values, and the family's popularity grew over the years. They offered a welcome alternative to the more hedonistic depictions of family life in Hollywood, standing in sharp contrast to many other families. In this family, Jim Bob held the position of patriarch and was considered the head of the home and the children's caretaker, while Michelle played the role of matriarch and nurturer. Going to church was just one part of the Duggars' Christian lifestyle. The focus was on creating a home where religious unity was paramount. The importance of a marriage based on trust, mutual respect, and spiritual development, as well as the virtues of modesty and purity, were common themes in their teachings. As far as Christian marriages go, Jim Bob and Michelle were considered models. Their love and faith for one another seemed to be the bedrock of an almost perfect relationship. The startling breakup notification. A lot of people who followed Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar felt betrayed when they heard that they were divorcing. They had presented a picture of an unwavering commitment, a marriage founded on faith, for years. Those who had cared about their narrative were shocked to discover that their marriage had failed. Both the divorce and the reasons for it have remained under wraps, and the Duggars have chosen to keep them that way. On the other hand, rumors abound. Some have speculated that the stresses of celebrity life may have been to blame, while others have suggested that Jim Bob and Michelle's inner turmoil may have been more significant. Everyone is wondering what went wrong, but it's obvious that their once perfect family image has been destroyed. When a Christian family has established their reputation on Christian ideals, the topic of divorce becomes even more delicate. For many evangelical Christians, a divorce is a symbol of spiritual despondency. It's a shameful truth that many people have to face, and it may be particularly difficult when a family has publicly supported marriage as a holy institution that must be protected at all costs. A lot of people have been let down by the Duggars since their whole public character was based on their family ideals, and now they're publicly splitting up. How it affects their offspring. The effects on the Duggar children are among the most worrisome parts of their divorce. A new reality has emerged for the Duggar children, who have grown up in a very regimented, religious household. They range in age from young adults to very little children. The family dynamic has been irrevocably changed, and the lasting impact of this separation is yet to be determined. Jim Bob and Michelle brought up their children in a fairly traditional home, shielding them from the world around. Shown on television, the family's youngsters exhibited unwavering devotion to their religion and rigid adherence to its rules and expectations. But the limitations of their childhood are starting to apparent as their children grow up and become more self-reliant. Specifically, the eldest Duggar children have begun to pursue interests outside of the home that may clash with their parents' expectations. In open defiance of their parents' beliefs, a few of the kids have adopted other lifestyles and ways of thinking. The family dynamic has become more unstable as a result of these developments, and what will happen to the relationships going forward is anybody's guess after the divorce. As they grapple with the juxtaposition of a dysfunctional household and the idealized portrayal of a Christian family, the children will surely experience varying degrees of impact from the divorce. When a family's identity is based on a specific set of values, the emotional toll of a divorce may be far more deep than for any other family. The Duggar children will certainly face the challenges of adjusting to their family's new normal while also processing the grief, bewilderment, and pain they experience as a result of their parents' divorce. How Christians responded. Christians are also reeling over the news of the Duggar family's split. For a long time, they were admired as models of Christian morality. Now, their public breakup brings up challenging concerns about religion, marriage, and forgiveness. Many evangelicals hold the view that divorce is a terrible but sometimes necessary evil and place a premium on the sanctity of marriage. But this divorce challenges the view of many Christians that marriage should be kept at all costs. Faith has always played a significant role in the Duggar family's narrative. As a sign of their dedication to one another and to following God's will for their lives, they were married. Some have begun to doubt the sincerity of their faith in light of how publicly that devotion has crumbled. Critics counter that the Duggars are just like any other married couple, flawed human beings who face their fair share of problems. They make a valid point by saying that divorces like this one show how complicated life can be, and that even Christians may have problems that strain their marriages. Some people think it shows hypocrisy that they are divorcing. Marriage, faithfulness to one's vows, and the value of a strong family unit were themes that the Duggars often discussed in their sermons. Their message is undermined and their integrity is called into doubt when they divorce, according to some. The divorce serves as a sobering reminder to these critics that no matter how hard they strive, the ideal of a flawless Christian family is not always within reach. What lies ahead for the Duggar name? The fate of the Duggar name is up in the air after Jim, Bob, and Michelle's split. Their Christian conservatism, which was deeply rooted in their family dynamic, may no longer resonate with their audience. A lot of people looked up to the Duggars as an example of the perfect family life, but they were more than that. That emblem has been desecrated by their split. What the Duggar kids do next will determine their family's reputation and how long they're known in the public spotlight. Now the only thing left to decide is whether they would follow in their parents' footsteps or create their own unique identities. Their ability to overcome this challenging period and mend their ties with one another and their followers will determine the family's fate. Obviously, the Duggar family will change drastically after the divorce. Their once lauded tale of Christian family values has now changed course. The consequences of Jim, Bob, and Michelle's breakup may take time to materialize. But one thing is certain. This surprising development will alter the Duggar family's history forever.